Thank you, Lincoln. Good evening. It is Wednesday, April 15th, 2026, 7 p.m. Let's get started with roll call. Hello.
Mrs. Briscoe.
Here. Here.
Mr. Bush.
Here.
Mrs. McMillan.
Here.
Mrs. Ost.
Here.
Mrs. Tunney.
Here.
Mrs. Zielinski.
Here.
Tonight, we're going to be starting with our student spotlight. We have 8th grade Spanish here to join us tonight. Kristen, would you like to help us with that?
Yes, definitely. We're really excited tonight to have 3. We're supposed to have 4, but unfortunately one couldn't come. But 3 of our 8th grade students who have been part of our Spanish course this year, their 8th grade year. So they're here, as well as Mrs. Espinoza, the teacher of the class, to share some highlights of the learning that they've done in terms of the Spanish language this year. So I'll have them come on up.
Hey, buenas noches. Good evening, everybody. I'm Senora Espinosa. I teach 8th grade Spanish at Mokena Junior High. At the junior high, we have 4 quarterly elective classes, and 6th grade students go through a quarterly rotation of art, communication, music, tech, and design. In 7th grade, they go through the same quarterly rotation. However, communications transitions to exploratory Spanish. This is just a 9-week course, which is an introductory course to second language acquisition skills, which is a really great way for students to be able to experience learning a new language and exposure to how we practice a second language, which might be something new to many of our students. In 8th grade, however, students are able to choose from 2 semester electives, being art, music, and tech and design. Or they can apply for the full year Spanish program, which is the Lincoln Way High School curriculum. The Spanish 1 program does have an application process. The first part is that students have to have earned a B or higher in 7th grade English language arts for the first 3 quarters. Second part of that is that they complete an online application, which they must be logged into their school Google account, and then submit the application by the due date. Once applications are submitted, we do submit applicants' names to the teachers, 7th grade teachers, for recommendations based on homework completion, classroom behavior, and academic focus. As many of you might know, it is a rigorous class. Again, it does follow the curriculum of the high school, and we do move at a high school pace. The final step is administration makes the final decision based on the recommendations and the FastBridge reading scores, and the administration notifies students in June. Today, I have brought 3 future Seal of Literacy students who will demonstrate their acquired language skills in Spanish. I have Peyton Fitzgerald, Peyton Jelly, and Kaylin Carley.
Hola, me llamo Peyton, yo tengo 13 años y yo soy baja en Zion.
Hola, me llamo Peyton. Me gusta practicar deportes. Me gusta gatos. Me gusta la clase de español. No me gusta verduras. No me gusta la tarea. No me gusta correr.
Hola, buenas noches. Me llamo Kaylin. I'm here to speak about why I'm taking Spanish. 3 of my main reasons are for my family. Several of my family members are native speakers, and they speak Spanish to their family when I see them, only on my mom's side though. I also love culture and learning about culture. I think it's a very interesting topic, how it differs from country to country. Mostly I've been interested with South American culture, Mexico, Venezuela, Cuba, even a little bit of Spain as well. I'm also very interested in communication, talking with others from the other language. I would love to pick up a job with communications. My mom works in the foster care system, so I feel like helping children or people that have that language barrier would be really cool to help others like that. I also love to travel. I would love to travel to Spain, Mexico, Cuba, all the countries I've already listed that I'm interested in learning the culture of. Even other countries such as like Japan, Paris, France, all those things. I feel like learning a language is really helpful and beneficial to that. And learning like different cognitive skills have really benefited me by doing Spanish.
One of the reasons for taking Spanish in 8th grade class is the ability in high school to be able to take Spanish 4 and Spanish 5 AP, Advanced Placement. The other advantages is in senior year, students can choose to take this test for the Seal of Illiteracy, which is a prestigious award, and it is recognized by Lincoln Way High School. They hold a special ceremony which will be held April 29th at Lincoln Way Central this year. Students need to demonstrate proficiency in reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And one of the things that Lincoln Way has been so generous to incorporate is to allow each of the feeder schools to recognize an outstanding learner from our classes each year. So as part of this year's ceremony, I have chosen or selected Kaylin Carley as La Más Estudiosa, is selected by her student, voted by her students for this year's Outstanding Language Learner Award. Thank you very much.
Congratulations on your.
Thank you. And we'd love to get a picture of you and then
First, just that? Okay.
did you want to jump in?
It's more for them, dude.
You guys so much. That was very impressive.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations and thank you all for coming tonight. Happy to see you all. Public communication. I have 4 speakers. I believe that's everybody. I don't believe there were any more tickets over there. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. Lincoln does have the time clock over there. Natalie Thompson, you are up first.
Oh, I didn't know if you like turn it around or show it or what. All right, sounds good. All right, good evening, members of the board, superintendent, and community members. My name is Natalie Thompson, and for the last 7 years, I have dedicated myself to this district. I'm here tonight because I feel it is necessary to address a disheartening narrative regarding my professional standing. Prior to my career in education, I served 6 years in the military, earning a bachelor's degree in social work. I then went on to work as a case manager for Head Start. While I don't hold a professional educator license, or PEL, as it is known, I do hold a state-issued license from the Illinois State Board of Education. Under Illinois law, I am fully qualified and certified as a substitute teacher. Despite this, it has come to my attention that my professional standing is being undermined by suggestions that I'm not a certified teacher. I feel like this is a profound slap in the face. Throughout my 7 years here, I have given blood, sweat, and tears to every student in our district. There have been instances even where I have been physically harmed on the job and chose not to report those incidences simply to protect the reputation of this district and to save face. I have constantly prioritized this district and worked seamlessly with staff to support our students. My background in social work provides a unique, vital perspective in our classroom, a perspective that should be valued and not dismissed. I am asking that the board ensure that all educators are treated with professional respect to our state-issued license. I came here tonight wanting to say, I wish to continue serving our students without my integrity being undermined. However, given this situation and many others that don't fit in 3 minutes, I don't know if I'm gonna come back. Thank you for your time and your service.
Thank you. Aaron Min.
Good evening. I am Erin Min. Among other things, I'm a Mokena resident, crossing guard with the police department, Mokena 159 parent, and one of the library trustees. Congratulations to those elected to fill the 2 Finance Committee community representative seat vacancies. I'm sharing tonight because I've been unable to get clear answers about the Finance Committee selection process. Parents, including candidates with extensive financial experience in the D159 Parent Council group on Facebook, raised questions about who was selected and the thought process behind the decision. Since the board president makes all board appointments and he is in the group, I tagged Jim Andresen in my comment. He reached out telling me that I knew how to get a hold of him and asked that I remove the tag. I did, and I emailed, reiterating the questions. He responded, but did not answer my questions. My questions on this and other topics remain unanswered, not via email, not on the social media post, and not during any section of board meetings such as information reports, discussions, or action items. Thanking me for my thoughts or opinions or saying that decisions were difficult is not the same as providing answers. The post had asked, was anyone here selected for the Finance Committee? I was not. I commented, it would be great to see the qualifications of those selected as well as guidelines to make that decision. If they are less qualified than these 3 and others, keep in mind that enough voters chose to re-elect all of the incumbents, including Jim Andresen, who the majority of the board then proceeded to promote to board president, whose powers include handpicking committee appointments. The next Finance Committee is scheduled for Monday, April 13th. It may be revealed then, unless Jim chimes in on this thread before then. The 2 selected community representatives were at the finance meeting Monday night, but were not named. As chair of the committee, will Sam cover that tonight? One sat for 5+ years on the Finance Committee as staff. Detailed online minutes only go back that far, plus this current school year. 6+ years don't count towards a 2-year term limit. With the Parent-Teacher Advisory Council, priority is given to those who have not yet served. Why the discrepancy? The IASB encourages boards to engage in open, 2-way conversations outside of regularly convened meetings to determine the community's aspirations for its schools and students. Will the board please choose more ways to connect and engage with the community? Many parents feel unheard and are seeking improved transparency from the district. So I ask again, who was selected to serve as community representatives on the Finance Committee? Why were candidates not interviewed? What are their qualifications? What guidelines were used to make that decision? Thank you.
Thank you. John Jones.
My name is John Jones. I am here regarding serious concerns with the National Junior Honor Society chapter at Mokena Junior High. This is a foundational violation of the National Junior Honor Society National Constitution. For at least a decade, dating to bylaws labeled updated 2012, this chapter has operated in a 3-member faculty council despite the requirements for a 5-member council. The NJHS handbook makes clear the 5-member faculty council is required. Even the superintendent's dismissal review, it was acknowledged that a 5-member council once existed. However, the same decision upheld a dismissal made by a 3-member council. The superintendent stated Robert's Rules of Order satisfy this requirement. These positions cannot be reconciled. The issue is not whether the 3-member constituted a quorum, but if a 3-member council had any authority to act under NJHS rules. Under the governing constitution, it did not. No documentation has been provided establishing when a compliant 5-member council was actually in place, despite the superintendent's representation that such a council previously existed. If the decision-making body was improperly constituted, how can the outcome be valid? A student should not be required to undergo a second hearing to remedy a procedural deficiency in the district's original process. There are due process concerns as well. The district has no record of a September 2025 probation notification cited in a dismissal and relied upon on the superintendent's decision. There was no clearly published grading scale at the time of enforcement, despite bylaws directing families to reference the parent-student handbook. Handbooks dating back to 2012 contain no grading scale. The principal acknowledged website grading equivalency scales were not published under the fact and later updated. A standard that is not clearly published at the time is applied cannot be considered fairly administered. The superintendent's decision stated no procedural irregularities were found and all processes were applied in accordance with bylaws and national expectations. The conclusions cannot be reconciled with the absence of a properly constituted faculty council, missing documentation, and a lack of clearly published grading statements or standards at the time of enforcement. A formal complaint has been submitted to the National Association of Secondary School Principals, including the validity of the dismissal decision and the chapter's systemic foundational noncompliance of NJHS standards. This is no longer about one student. It is about whether the process itself meets the standard required regardless of the outcome. Students are expected to meet the defined standards while the system enforcing those standards are not required to meet them itself. A decision made without proper authority should not be upheld as valid. I respectfully ask, can the district identify the school year in which a compliant 5-member council existed and the records documented to prove it? Thank you.
Thank you, John. Amanda?
Hi, I'm Amanda. I got both kids with me tonight because the husband's working late. Also, I want to let them know it's important to advocate for yourself and for others. So I am here tonight to express my disappointment in the chosen committee members for the finance committee chairs. I think we lack transparency and turnover and change. And change isn't scary. I get it. Criticism is also scary. But we need to get past being uncomfortable and be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Questions aren't always a bad thing. We should promote positive change, and sometimes that change can feel uncomfortable. Let's do it. Let's be more proactive. Also, since we're discussing classroom sizes, and I have some neurodivergent kids, keeping classroom sizes smaller on the below target level would be much appreciated. I'm sure that the staff would agree. Smaller class sizes are easier to manage. Coming from a teacher's perspective, when you have some neurospicy kiddos in the classroom, it helps when you have smaller class sizes. It helps everyone, and it helps all the kids too. Yes, so that is it. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda.
Come on, guys.
Thank you, all of our public speakers tonight. Moving on to staff communication. Anything from the MTA? Thank you. Anything from MCSA? Okay. District 843? Good evening.
Nice to see everyone again. So just kind of an update from Self and Stellar and a little bit about 843. Again, speaking mostly on behalf of our Self and Stellar programs, which are here in Mokena. We're currently sitting at 33 students between the two programs. Our Self program, which again is our social emotional learning foundations, is at around 21 students. And then our Stellar, which is our structured teaching and learning room, is at 12 students. We've been pretty consistent the whole year, sitting anywhere between 30 and 33 students. So we've lost some, we've gained some, but pretty much sitting right around 30 to 33. Again, this is about the time of year where we really start looking at how we've grown and where we're currently sitting with our students in streamlining and gen ed. Out of our current students, 12 of them, which is roughly 36%, are participating in at least one gen ed class, and then 9 of them are participating in 2 or more. So over a quarter of our students are participating in at least 2 or more gen ed students. At the conclusion of this year, we will be sending 4 students back to their home schools, so pretty consistent with what we've seen every year so far. That includes 2 of our 8th graders going to a less restrictive environment. Of those 4, 2 of them are Mokena students. So we've already transitioned 1 Mokena student back at the junior high, and then at the end of this school year, one of our other students in MIS will be transitioning back. So again, great news for Mokena, great news for our program that we're getting our students back into their home school. Again, this means over the last 4 years, we'll have sent 16 students either back to their home school or if they're in 8th grade, transitioning to a less restrictive environment. Looking at on the other end of that, we've only had to go more restrictive in the last 4 years with 4 students. So we're averaging about sending 4 students back and only having to go to a more restrictive setting with 1 student a year. Our big move, kind of looking at closing up this year and next year as we start to plan for that, is we are going to be extending our Stellar program all the way through 8th grade next year. So now our Self program and Stellar program will run K through 8. We will have 3 classes of each. So at the elementary school, we'll have 2 Self classrooms, 2 Stellar classrooms. And then at the junior high, we'll have 1 Self classroom, 1 Stellar classroom. So big news there. Like I said, we've seen a lot of growth in our Stellar program. It started about 2.5 years ago with 3 kids. And like I said, next year we'll be at about 16 kids in our Stellar program. So tremendous growth with that as well. Again, a big push for us has always been our family events and getting our community involved. It's, and kind of creating a community with our own programs. It's been a big piece for us, especially because we have students coming from all over, and so they don't have that sense of community necessarily all the time. So some of the family events we've done since the last time we've met is we've done breakfast with the Easter Bunny, and then we have muffins with moms, our motherly figures, coming up that first week of May. We also have the Superhero Day, so our district will be participating in Lurie's Children's Hospital Superhero Day on April 28th. So if you see some of our kiddos wearing their superhero costumes and things like that on April 28th, that's why. We've really started to look at incentive field trips, especially for our kids as kind of a reward. We recently went to Slick City. I don't know if any of your kids or anyone's been to Slick City, but it's in Orland Park. It's basically an indoor slide place. And it was amazing. So there's videos all over. I'll try and show you guys or share some, but it was a blast. We ended up having, out of all of our 33 students, we had 30 of our 33 students being able to go on that. So the behavior was, well, at least for that time. Our last one is going to be the Joliet Slammers Educational Day, May 20th. So we'll be going on our last field trip there. Again, it'll be another incentive-based field trip for our kids. We are very heavy into ESY planning this year. So again, our district runs ESY for Mokena, Manhattan, and not Summit Hill, and Frankfurt. It will be housed here again. So I know that a lot of staff here are happy about that. We're happy about that. I'm happy about that because then that means I don't have to move all my stuff for ESY. So a lot of good having ESY here. So we've been planning as a district recently over the last month and a half. We will be meeting with actually our Mokena team tomorrow to finalize some plans with what that will look like here and hopefully get the ball rolling with that. Other than that, again, we're looking to close out another successful year and look on to the next. So, any questions?
It's a great report, Mr. Romeo, and it's helping a lot of kids. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, we are moving on to action requests. Would someone like to read the first one?
I move to approve minutes from the March 18, 2026 regular meeting in closed session as presented.
Seconded by Lisa. Questions or concerns?
Yes,
Go ahead.
I move to amend the motion to approve the minutes so that the minutes can be corrected as laid out in my email request to the board secretary, board president, and board members in alignment with Illinois Open Meetings Act.
It should be noted, I had a conversation with our attorney today regarding this topic. The minutes as they were presented meet the legal definition of everything we need to do. That being said, that amended motion would need a second. Is there a second for it? Hearing none, the motion fails. We are back to the approval of the previous minutes. We have a first and a second. Kelly Lynn, can you please help us with the roll call vote?
Mr. President, can we have more discussion? We should be in discussion.
Is there a technical issue with the minutes? Is there a vote that's mischaracterized, et cetera?
I'm requesting discussion.
Motion denied.
Are you saying that? Okay, so what I laid out for was, as I previously said, for about 8 months, is that, discussion continues to get abbreviated in a way that's not really an abbreviation, a summary. It's just a statement that discussion was had. It's not true summary. And there were several formal requests for information last month that were not in the minutes at all. And point of inquiries that were not in the minutes at all last month. So for that reason, I'll be voting no. I request that my comments and objection to this approval be noted in the minutes, please.
Any other discussion? Let's go with the roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Briscoe,
Yes?
are we able to read her lips? Because I saw that she said.
Yes.
She can hear us, we just can't hear her.
I can hear it. I can talk.
Oh.
Oh,
You can hear me?
If I change it now.
I mean, I see the thumbs up, but you're telling me you can hear it too. Anna knows I'm kind of kidding. No. Anna, would you like to voice your vote one more time, my friend?
Yes?
I believe everybody heard that. Is that fair?
Okay.
Let's count it. Everybody could hear it. Thank
Good.
you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Bush,
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan,
No.
Mrs. Ost. Yes. Mrs. Tunney.
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski. Yes. Mr. Anderson.
Yes. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, everybody. Okay, moving on. It was my month to look through the bills. I looked through all 3 attachments with many, many pages. I sent Terry many questions. She was kind enough to spend time going through those with me. I am satisfied. I move to approve the monthly bills as presented. Thank you. Any-
Mr. President,
Yes.
I have amend a motion to approve. My microphone is, I'm gonna repeat it because I think I'm not getting, I'm not doing something right. I move to amend the motion to approve the bills. Is this one on? Okay, thank you, Lincoln. Okay, so I move to amend the motion to approve the bills by removing the 2 payments to Ryan Electric and the prepayments report in the amounts of $9,624.93 and $24,409.07 for separate consideration.
Is there a second? Second by Julie. Okay.
This is on.
There was a red
Okay.
light on it.
The basis for my amendment is that the board was not provided information demonstrating that these payments meet the requirements under board policy for prepayments made prior to board approval. It's my understanding that they are on a report that has already been paid, but information has not been provided demonstrating that they meet the requirements under our policy for that.
Terry, do you have anything you'd like to share on that?
The work was performed by Ryan to the satisfaction of our district engineers and our building and grounds director. The invoice was submitted and approved.
Okay.
Mr. Andreessen.
Yes, Julie.
Mr. Gurney, can I ask Terry directly, or do you want me to? I just have a question about, was this part of a project that was already approved by the board? The work that was being done?
This was a part of the fire panel project at
Okay.
MES and MIS.
Thank you.
So, just a point of clarity, the basis for my amendment is not that the work was done or that it was part of a project. The basis for my amendment to separate out the bill is that the board was provided no information to qualify that this is already paid prior to board approval. It's on the prepayments bills. So we have two bills runs. One is prepayments that have already been paid prior to approval, and there's a set of requirements in board policy on what needs to happen to qualify for that. And then the rest of the bills are paid after board approval. The reason for the separation is that the board was not provided information to say that these two Ryan Electric payments qualify for prepayment without board approval.
Okay. The agreement we've had at the board is to not have surprises. So I don't have this question at all from our action items that were expected by noon on Monday.
The basis for my amendment is that the board was not provided information demonstrating that these payments meet the requirement of board policy for prepayments.
That being said, we do have an established procedure to ask questions regarding action items prior to the meeting. There's two motions right now. There is a motion to approve all bills except Ryan Electric, and the second one would be to approve Ryan Electric. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
We have to approve, or I'm sorry, we have to vote on whether or not we're going to remove Ryan out first.
Oh, that's a fair point. That's a good point, Sam. You know,
My
that's what the
motion
amendment
was to amend the motion, not, yeah. Last month, right.
see,
This motion is that we're going to separate it.
You're voting. Yep.
Yes, I vote yes
On the
to
amendment.
separate. So two Ryan Electric payments.
Mrs. Ost.
Yes.
Mrs. Tunney.
I don't see a reason for them to say no.
Mrs. Zelinski.
No.
Mr. Andreessen. No. Mrs. Briscoe.
No.
No, but I didn't. Can you say it again, Mrs. Briscoe?
No.
No. Mr. Bush? No.
Okay, the amended motion fails. We are back to the original motion to approve the monthly bills in their entirety. I would like to call the roll call vote on that.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan?
No, for the reason I stated.
Mrs. Ost?
Yes.
Mrs. Tunney?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Andreessen?
Yes.
Mrs. Briscoe?
Yes.
I move to approve personnel recommendations 6C1 through 3 as presented, subject to successful background check and verification of credentials if applicable.
Okay, questions? No,
I'm sorry. When I sat down, there's a personnel report. Is this what? No different. Okay, that's all I wanted to check. Thank you.
So same as what we had before. Thank you for the clarity. Hearing no questions or concerns, let's move forward.
Mrs. McMillan?
Yes.
Mrs. Ost?
Yes.
Mrs. Tunney?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Andreessen?
Yes.
Mrs. Briscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
I move to approve the gift to the district from the Mokena Educational Foundation as presented.
Second, Lisa.
I just wanted to say thank you for the generous donation. It looks awesome, and I want to play with it.
I think a hearty thank you is in order and much appreciated. Let's go.
Mrs. Ost?
Yes.
Mrs. Tunney?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Andreessen?
Yes.
Mrs. Briscoe?
Yes. Thank you, MEF.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan?
Yes.
I move to approve the Summer Sparks enrichment classes as presented.
Mrs. Tunney?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Andreessen?
Yes.
Mrs. Briscoe?
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan?
Yes.
Mrs. Ost?
Yes. I move to approve the purchase of one pre-owned 2024 IC/CE 72 passenger school bus with a gasoline engine at a price not to exceed $130,870 as presented.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Is this fiscal year 27 money? Mr. Gurney?
Yes, it is.
And it's 106,000, is that right?
130,000.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry. So the reason I'm going to vote no on this, I just wanted to clarify for the record that this was fiscal year 27, but right now we have 10 bus routes. This is the purchase, what we're talking about here is the purchase of our 13th bus. The board has not been provided information on why there are 13 buses that are required for our district that runs 10 routes. Now, what was provided was that there are instances that sports or after-school programs would warrant multiple extracurricular bus runs after the school day, but we have really no data on the frequency that actually 3 extra buses would be needed. I'm going to assume that that's not a lot, but I have nothing to go off of. At the end of the day, judging our financial position and the deficit that we're in
not only this year, but a worse financial projection that we have for next year and the coming years, this is the exact type of thing that I think that we need to consider other alternatives instead of purchasing a bus like this when in fact we only have 10 routes. An example of other alternatives, which I did ask for, would be potentially outsourcing individual runs if we needed it on a case by case basis, getting into an agreement of some sort with a bus provider that could do incidental runs if we have a bus down or if we needed a after school bus in excess of what we have in our fleet. But to purchase a 13th bus for $130,000 when we're projecting a $1.5 million deficit or more next year, I don't believe to be the financially sound decision. So for that reason, I vote no.
Mr. Andreessen?
Yes, Julie.
This bus replaces or takes the place, not replaces, but takes the place of a lease that is up. And this is the amount of buses that our fleet has run. And I would hate to, I mean, part of what Mrs. McMillan said is if we have a bus go down or, you know, we don't know all of the scenarios. And I'd hate to explain to parents that we let a lease lapse and not have the fleet that we have run on in the past historically. So I support what the administration has brought forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, let's call the vote.
Mrs. Zelinski? Yes. Mr. Andreessen?
Yes.
Mrs. Briscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan?
No.
Mrs. Ost?
Yes.
Mrs. Tunney?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not stopping you. Keep
I
going.
move to approve the staffing plan for the 2026-2027 school year as presented. Come on, man.
Man, you're making it way too easy. It's kind of fun. Okay. Questions or concerns?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Where's the action item here? What is the action? Is the action to approve this presentation?
If you open the, I'm sorry, is it okay, Jim? There is a memo from Mr. Gurney that he is putting forth the recommended resolution in seeking support for the approval of the staffing plan.
Okay, I found it. I'm sorry. So the action is, the proposed action is to recommend that the board is approving a 5.9 full-time equivalent, which is 1/10 of the way away from 6 full-time staff members, right? So call it 6, basically. 5.9 full-time equivalent, decrease in staffing. And the details of where that staffing is being decreased is not in the action item, right? It's laid out within this presentation. Is that right, Bob? Okay. So 5.9 full-time equivalent decrease in staff, I'm adamantly opposed to. I think that we want more people in our district, more adults in the building. And, you know, I look at this as a give and take. And I believe that we can equate that extra bus as getting rid of people in our building and buying an extra bus instead. You know, it's how are we going to spend our dollars? So to say that we're going to buy a 13th bus and then 2 action items later say that we're going to reduce the staff count in our buildings by 5.9, I'm just not in alignment with that strategy. So for that reason, I will be voting no.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I got a quick comment.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So I did ask a question on this, if there are any operating disruptions, concerns with that, and it sounds like that some of the positions potentially are still being evaluated.
Absolutely.
Based on student needs and
Yep.
things like that. And so, so the 5.9 could very well change depending on further analysis that could be completed by the administrative team. Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Why are we voting on something that can change? I don't understand why we would be voting on something. Are we saying that it could be more or less than 5.9?
Turn it off throughout the year. Thank you, Lincoln.
So if it can change for next year based on, I'm assuming enrollment, right?
Mhm.
Why would we be taking this action now?
All right, why would we establish a staffing plan in the spring?
Right.
This is typically the time that school districts establish that. If we have a big influx of students in one grade level, we'll relook at that, but we would bring that to the board and talk
Okay.
to them about it.
So assuming enrollment stays the same as it is now, we will have 5.9 less full-time equivalent in our buildings next year.
That's our plan right now, but we're still evaluating. There are some positions that we're eliminating based on retirements and resignations that have not been eliminated in the past. So we'll continue to see how this kind of rolls out and make sure that the schools are adequately staffed.
Okay.
Mr.
Adequately
Andreessen?
staffed, but with less people. Is that right? Like,
correct.
It could be adequately staffed with more people or less people, right? Okay, thank you.
Mr. Andreessen, I just want to highlight something that it's repetitive of what Mr. Gurney just said, but these are a combination of retirements, voluntary resignations, contract agency staff member. I don't want folks to think that we are not giving that a tremendous amount of thought. And I don't want it to sound like we're just riffing people. That is not what is being done here. So I just wanted to make that clear.
And thank you. What's happening here. And as people change, figure out their options, the team will bring those forward. That's their point. Okay.
Mr. President?
We just got an email, Lincoln, that the audio is not coming through on the feed right now very well. So just wanted to see, I don't know if how you can judge that or not. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for taking a look. Okay. Let's go ahead.
Mr. Andreessen?
Yes.
Mrs. Briscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan?
No.
Mrs. Ost?
Yes.
Mrs. Tunney?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
I move to approve a contract with Pinnacle Flooring Company from Frankfurt in an amount not to exceed $95,400 as presented. Don't sound so excited.
Along for the ride. Love it. Okay. There was an update to this. It is included in your board pack that was printed up and put in front of you. Effectively, we are going to be working on junior high. We are delaying the idea at MES and MIS as it was last replaced in 2015. So that is not being handled at this time. We are only moving forward, I believe, with junior high at this point. If I'm missing anything, please feel free to help me.
With the MES and MIS offices, the tile was replaced around 2015. We think it was 2015.
Mhm.
And the carpet was not. So we're going to just take a look at the cost for the carpet and bring that back next month.
So ultimately, this does look different than the original idea. It's a smaller scope of work and therefore a smaller price tag.
Correct.
Thank you. Questions or concerns from my fellow members?
Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you for the folks that had the historical perspective to catch the 2015. That was something that I did not realize, so I appreciate it.
And I know a lot of people helped out with that. Kelly, I believe you had something to share?
Thank you. Just wanted to point out that, you know, we talk a lot about surprises and how we came to an agreement that this would not, even though it's not our policy, this was a surprise. So I sat down and did not know this. The board, you know, for it to be printed and put it on and put at our seat was enough forewarning to have sent us a text or had a phone call real quick. The board president seems to be very knowledgeable into the background of why this change was made, but I could speak for myself that this was a complete surprise. So I just asked that the no surprises be applied throughout everything we're doing. And I, again, you know, look at how we're spending. And to me, flooring projects are not a priority when we are in a multi-million-dollar deficit and reducing staffing in our building. This is not a priority. We have, you know, other things in our capital improvement plan as far as security measures, roofing, you know, there's other facility things that need to happen. I asked if this project can be delayed, and the answer was yes. So I will be voting no on that basis.
Okay.
Quick comment.
If I can for 1 second. Yes, I did know about it because I was informed this afternoon after feedback from my fellow members that they wish to make an adjustment because we found out some of the flooring was not as old as we thought it was. Therefore, this is all part of the original scope of work. It's just a smaller scope of work than we had before. Smaller scope, smaller money, but the information you have in front of you was part of what you already had before you to begin with. And as we had fresh information, it was shared accordingly in a timely manner as soon as it was available. Part of the thing is we were looking for people that had institutional knowledge, building principals, et cetera, that could tell us how old the floor is. We only know the junior high floor is original for obvious reasons. Beyond that, it's a little bit harder. Yes, Eric, go ahead.
All right. So Dr. Shaw, I believe you noted that we're going to have a capital plan presentation next month.
Correct.
So I assume, is it safe to, don't want to assume, I caught myself. So is that plan going to be amended for this potential motion as far as the, you know, it's not going to be 100 and what was it, 80,000, I believe, when it started. It's down to potentially 95. So potentially with some additional carpet, I think. So I just want to make sure that whatever changes are will be incorporated in that capital plan for next month.
The plan was to present what was presented at the finance committee and not change anything from the March capital improvement plan that's on the website. That is our annual presentation. What happens is that the document that we work with throughout the year gets updated to reflect actuals and what we're doing and how we move things. So the presentation for May will be the capital plan that's on our website and that was presented to the finance committee in March. March, yeah. It was just later in March because of.
Yeah, it got postponed.
Got postponed, yeah. Yeah. We already know that there's other safety concerns that have come to us that we'll need to make some adjustments from what we just saw in March already. Yeah, that's part of the annual adjustment and continuously working through that capital plan. But we do try to keep what we did and presented on an annual basis the same. So that's why it'll be that document that's on the website. So it's the same document without any changes until we actually do the annual change again next year. But through the year, we make adjustments as we move through the year, and priorities shift when safety issues arise. We have ROE walkthroughs, we have life safety surveys done, and when we get that data, we adjust accordingly and really try to put safety as the priority.
So then all those adjustments that you're talking about, these safety concerns, that will be brought to the board's attention sometime in the future.
It will, as projects develop for next summer, through the winter. If we do a project over winter break or through next summer, those projects will be brought to the board.
Thank you.
Mr. Andreessen? What are the implications if the project was postponed? Are there implications for Fund 21, how the budget was developed? Could you help me understand that?
So the budget for FY27 has not been presented to the board yet or developed. We have a really good idea of what Fund 21 looks like for FY27, 28, 29, maybe even 30. But there's an ebb and flow with that, with priority shifting. The junior staircase is a safety because it's the treads on the stairwell. It's a walk-off mat, which is also safety.
Okay.
The office, the carpet in there, it is original to the building, so it is very worn. But the other areas are on the table because of safety concerns with the flooring. I mean, flooring is one of those areas of safety that we've prioritized.
Of course. Is there a way to further separate out the safety aspects of it, or is there an efficiency to having both types of flooring be done? Sorry for my compound question, but I think you know what I'm trying to get at. Is the 95 all related to more of the safety flooring, or can it be further subdivided?
It's subdivided into 3 pieces right now. So it's on the bid tabs is where you actually see the subdivision of it. So there's 3 pieces to the MJ bid. There's the office carpet, there's the MJ stair treads, and then the walk-off mats. The walk-off mats are at the bottom of the stairwells. So the walk-off mats are very similar to what you see when you come into MES, when you come in the front doors, that walk-off mat.
Mm-hmm.
What you had before was you had tile and you had those long runners that, it's a lot safer with the walk-off mats, with the salt, with snow, with the ice, than the runners with the tile, because they bunch. And the walk-off mats are very nice to have on the bottom of stairwells.
Yeah.
The stair treads are starting to break, so that is a safety concern on the stair. The office carpet is just worn out. When anybody who goes into the MJ office, you'll see that. And it is also just an area. So those are the 3 components of the MJ scope of work.
And the office is the base bid?
It is the base
The
bid.
base bid.
Base bid, stair treads, and then the walk-off mats.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Motion's on the floor. I'd like to call roll call vote.
Mrs. Briscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan?
No.
Mrs. Ost?
Yes.
Mrs. Tunney?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Andreessen?
Yes. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Sam, you were on deck. Yeah, I am on. Sam, you are on deck first for the
All
Finance
right.
Committee.
All right, I'm gonna put this here because I'll assume that'll make it better. Okay. To start, I want to go over the 2 community member seats. As everybody knows, we had 2 that were available. The steps to do so were to apply via the form, noting why you were interested in what relevant experience you were bringing. We then had a follow-up invite to our March meeting so that they could see what is all entailed and still gauge interest, if you will. I would like to remind everybody, this is a 2-year term, but there are no term limits. I actually meant to look it up earlier and couldn't find it quickly enough. When we announced it, we did actually make, I believe my very close to verbatim words were, you could serve on it for 30 years if you're selected every time. There are no term limits. It is a 2-year term that you would then have to reapply for. We do want to encourage everyone to attend as an audience member and apply again in the future because we did have a lot of interested and a lot of really great options with this. We had a lot of people. It was an extremely tough decision. At the end of the day, we did decide to bring on Debbie Blank and Adam Thorns. We did congratulate them, welcome them on, and say thank you again at the end of the meeting on Monday. At that meeting, we went over the special education stuff, the technology update, and the 26-27 committee calendar as of right now. And the next meeting will be next month, May 11th at 7 p.m. here, going over the O&M fund and transportation fund. Did I miss anything? Nice.
Thank you, Sam.
Mr. President?
Yes, Kelly.
I move that you present and formally appoint members to the 2 new advisory committees in this open meeting as required by law, the Insurance Committee and the Parent-Teacher Advisory Committee, please. Oh, I'm sorry, the Insurance Committee and the Finance Committee, please.
With all due respect, I don't know what you're talking about. Not only was this not shared with me in advance, this goes against our no surprises guidelines, and I have not received any written request about this before right now. So no, we will not be doing that.
Excuse me, Mr. President, I made a motion. I asked for a vote.
It's an information report. This is not an action item. Also, it was not part of the publicly posted agenda. There will be no vote taken or motion during information report.
According to the Illinois Meetings Act, I can make a motion at any point. I appeal the decision of the chair.
Fellow board members, this was not communicated to me in advance. I think we're just going to keep doing what we were doing. And thank you to our people that from our community that are helping us with the process and donating their precious time to help. Thank you. That being said, moving on to policy committee. Julie, do you have anything you'd like to share regarding the policy committee?
I sent a brief memo outlining just my thoughts on the latest press issue. It is not an information item for this meeting because Mr. Gurney and I need to meet and then we'll put forth another memo. But I just wanted to make sure that you had it and then to note the artificial intelligence presentation that was given at the division meeting. But other than that, just I'm happy to answer questions via email or phone call or text or however you want to get hold of me.
And to build on that, thank you for going to that meeting and thank you for sharing the presentation for people that were not able to attend. Thank you.
Really quick, sorry.
Go
Just
ahead,
to
Eric.
clarify, we are talking about press 121, correct?
I believe that's the number. I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me. It wasn't put on the agenda. I can.
No, that's all right. I think I got it here. I think this is the right one. I just want to make sure it's the right one. 121. Got it. Thank you.
Yes, I can confirm it was 121. And Julie, thank you for sending that to us last week. Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. President. For the
Yes.
record, I made a motion and I was not permitted to make the motion. I'd like that to go into the record.
We are not in action items. There are no motions, and this was not communicated prior to the meeting.
I believe I am entitled to make a motion while I have the floor. I made a motion and I was not permitted to do so.
Fellow members, what would you like me to do with this?
We can't. It's not an action item. It wasn't on the agenda. We can't make a motion.
Then therefore, I'm following the will of the board and carrying on. Mr. Gurney, do you have anything you would like to share for the superintendent information item that you gave to us? Anything new you'd like to share?
Very excited that Lisa Zielinski and Julie Ost shared with me that the Illinois Association of School Board had recognized one of our board members last week. The Illinois Association of School Boards recognizes school board members for individual time and effort devoted to learning and leadership activities provided by the association and for service to the public education community. Individuals that earn board leader recognition status are recognized at the IASB Spring Division meetings. Just last week, we received word that our board president, Jim Andreessen, was recognized for his efforts in professional development offerings and leadership activities. We all appreciate his efforts on the school board and in the community and are thrilled that the Illinois Association of School Boards has recognized him with this honor.
That's very kind to share. Thank you. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, everyone. Oh, it's very kind. Thank you all.
Slide this over. Something in there too.
Oh, I get a pin. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, Mr. President.
Yes.
Regarding the insurance committee on Mr. Gurney's report, Mr. President, I move that you formally appoint members to the insurance committee advisory committee in this meeting as required by law.
Again, I will reiterate, this was not shared in advance. You are citing laws that no one knows what's going on with that, and we have no surprises to begin with.
For the
You know-
record, I am making a motion.
You can't.
I believe I am entitled to make a motion while I have the floor. I'm asking for the motion to be considered by the board.
To be clear, this is not an action item. It is not part of the
It
posted
is an action
agenda.
item. It is an
No.
agenda item. It does not, I can make a motion that it does not have to be an action item to make a motion. I can make a motion at any point during the meeting. A motion is on the floor. The insurance committee is on the information report from Mr. Gurney.
In all fairness to my fellow members and members of the community, this is not part of the agenda. I will not be partaking in that out of respect to everyone involved. We will be carrying on. Thank
For
you,
the record, I attempted to make a motion and was not permitted to do so.
because it's not publicly posted or an action item. There's no motion to be made during an information report.
Mr.
I don't know
President?
what to do with that. Okay.
Excuse me, I have the floor. I move that the board formally clarify for the record that no action has been taken in open session approving a $2,000 annual HSA contribution for employees for a 3-year period.
Board, I'm
Mr.
looking for
Andreessen.
help. Thank you.
Mr. Andreessen,
Yes.
it's improper to make a motion when there is no agenda item. And it is also improper to, I just don't understand the goal of trying to put somebody on the spot when there isn't an action item, and we've always done it this way. I don't know why we are needing to deviate from what is standard practice. Standard practice is to have an agenda item specifically about a topic. We don't have an agenda item. Second, when you say that you have the floor, it's the board president that yields the floor to the speaker. So you can't just claim the floor with all due respect, the president yields the floor to give your opinion. So I would respectfully ask that we move on because it is a misplaced motion, and speak to your fellow board members about a topic so we can have a dialogue about it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
So
you,
I'd like
Julie.
to
I appreciate
respond.
your
Excuse me,
consideration.
I'd like to respond.
I can
We
speak
are
to my
moving
fellow
on.
member, and I can thank her for her point of view without interruption. What would you like to share?
Okay, thank you. So it's my understanding, according to Robert rules, that a motion can be made during a meeting and that motions aren't contingent on action items. I made now 2 motions that were not permitted by the board president. The motion that I just made was regarding a $2,000 annual HSA contribution for all employees, that I have concerns is being communicated. And I would like to clarify for the record that the board has taken no action in open session on this. Now, to say that this is a surprise, it
Mr.
is not.
President, this is out of
I've done-
order.
This is very out of
Point of
order,
order,
Mrs. McMillan.
I made a motion. I would like to appeal to the chair.
Okay.
need to move on. Okay, please.
With
For the
all due
record, I
respect to
was
my fellow members, with all due
refused to have
respect,
a
this
motion.
is not on the agenda. We are not taking votes. We are not taking action on items that are not publicly posted. That would be a violation of not only the Open Meetings Act, but good faith to our community members and each other. We're not doing it. We're not. It's not on the agenda. There has been no time to consider it, no time for questions. It's not even an action item. It's not publicly posted. We will be moving on. Bob, pardon?
Nope, I was just saying we're now on date.
And thank you very much. I appreciate that. And thank you for your report and your kind words. Julie, thank you for sharing. Okay. Kristen, do you have anything additional to share for your report?
I do not have anything additional. I just want to say thank you again to Mrs. Espinoza and the 3 students who came tonight. That was a really great showcase of one of the wonderful exploratory classes we offer here in the district.
It was really nice they came tonight. Megan, do you have anything you'd like to share that was not in your previous report?
Everything is in my report. Hoopin' for inclusion. I struggle not adding that G at the end there. That is coming up on the 29th. Doors open at 5:30. This is a district-wide wheelchair basketball fundraiser at the junior high, so would love to see you all there. We also have a special education family night coming up, a sensory-friendly touch-a-truck. That'll be here at MES, and that is April 23rd from 4:30 to 6 o'clock. We are in the thick of planning for Special Olympics and Unified Partners.
Yeah.
So expect an email from Stacy Lavelle or myself the next couple weeks to sign up for some hopeful support to present to our kiddos and have those cute little medals handed to them. So more information to come.
I think that's May 13th, if I remember correctly. Is that about right?
13th
And 14th.
Hey, that's right. It's 2 days this.
Thank you.
That's
I
right.
lied in my report.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Sensory truck is April 23rd. I didn't put it in my report for Special Olympics. So thank you.
Well,
Yes.
Stacy was kind enough to keep people posted, and she's doing a great.
Stacy's doing great work,
Yes,
hence
she
why
is.
I don't know the date off the top of my head.
Hey, it takes a lot of people to make all this stuff run. Yes, it does.
Mr. Andreessen, I want to
Yes.
just backtrack because I like to give shout outs to staff.
You go right ahead.
And Sharon Youngblood winning the award. I know that you had it in your report, but it is nice to acknowledge her. I'm Educators of Excellence Award at the Will County Regional Office. I thought that was really great and well deserved. Yep, correct me, please.
Yeah,
or
no,
update me.
those who excel recipients will be receiving those awards this weekend, actually. So we'll be honoring them at hopefully an upcoming meeting, at least in our report. So, but that's to come this weekend.
Okay.
She won both. She's like a celebrity. I'm like,
She
"Here's
just
your
said awesome.
autograph."
She won both. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much. Thank you. Okay. Dr. Shaw, is there anything you would like to add in addition to your submitted report?
I don't have anything to add to it. I would just like to point out that our custodial report cards have seen dramatic improvements, and we're very happy with what's going on with that service today.
And that's very true. I believe they had a new management team, and they've been making a couple adjustments, and I understand that's been a positive thing in all three of our buildings.
Yes, it has.
Good. I like that.
And thank you for I don't know if it's Mr. Gurney or yourself or combination, but making sure the principals provide those because it has not been consistent at times. So it's good to make sure that those are so we can monitor it. Thank you.
I agree. Good to keep an eye on it. Anything else to add for financial treasurer's reports?
Oh, I would like to go back for discussion on the chief school business official report.
Well, you may share a point, but for the most part, questions for information items are shared after the meeting as per our agreed upon past practice, which you all have in front of you at your seats. If you have a point or two you'd like to make, it's really just a short point.
I would like to clarify for the record that I do not believe there have been formal board action on approving the $2,000 HSA contribution for all employees, and I'm requesting confirmation that any external communication reflects accurately. I move that the board define the role, membership authority, expected deliverables, and timeline of the insurance committee and direct administration to provide that recommended structure for board approval since that has not already been established.
Mr. Andreessen, I would just note that it's a mischaracterization that the board has taken any action, and the committee is doing its work, and the committee in the administration, I don't even want to take credit for all of the administration work that is going into developing the plans to help address the insurance. There has been no action taken, and I will not let that sit out there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Julie.
For the record, I made a motion.
Okay. We are moving on. Therefore, Lincoln, you're up. Anything else you'd like to share that was not in your printed report?
I do like to give the shout outs. This month, recipient of the Real Champion Award is Pam Sanders, and she's done a fantastic job of reporting multiple times a day. The end users might not see it, but on our end, the technology end, it does classify the phishing attempts. That lets us prioritize which ones to look at first. And Pam's done a wonderful job, and keep up the good work. So with that being said, this program, the Real Champion, is working. We went from meeting the industry standard to exceeding the industry standard this year. So yeah,
It's definitely
and you shared a fair amount of that at the finance committee
Yes.
update the other night, and that's been a very positive thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Mr. President, we skipped an agenda item. We skipped from the chief business official. We skipped the financial and treasurer's report. We didn't discuss that.
In all fairness, this is for information. I looked at Dr. Shaw. I asked her if she had anything additionally to share, and she waved me off, indicating everything that she had to share was in the informational report we all received.
Okay, so the board is able to discuss this, so I would like to do so.
It's an information item, and questions for
And
information are submitted.
I would like to
after the
discuss
meeting.
this information item, this agenda item. I would like to discuss it, please.
It is not added as a discussion item in our agenda. I have not received any requests prior to the meeting to add it as an agenda. Therefore, I do not have the will of the board supporting an adjustment to our agenda.
Excuse
at
me,
that
I would like a vote on that. I don't know how you establish the will of the board. This is an agenda item, and it should be open for discussion on Open Meetings Act, anything. This is an open meeting, so I would like to discuss an agenda item. This is treasurer's report. our board treasurer that I would like to discuss the report. And it seems like I'm not permitted to do so. Am I interpreting that right?
I think you can make a statement, but not ask questions.
I think that I could say whatever I want to say according to the Open Meetings Act. So I just want to make sure that I can have my time to discuss the treasurer's report.
I'm just stating the rules that we all agreed to, that we agreed that we wouldn't start asking a lot of questions. You can certainly make your statement. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, it seemed like Mr. President was moving on from the agenda item and that I was not able to be, to make discussion. And for the record, there's quite frequently questions being asked and answered. It just seems that when I propose a question that this rule that isn't really a rule or a policy is used, but then when other board members want to put our administration on the spot and ask questions in the moment without any kind of forewarning, that is allowed. But
Mrs.
regardless,
McMillan, really?
I would like to continue.
This.
And
I don't think that has happened one time today where we have asked someone other than you has asked a question during information. I had asked any questions I asked was during an action item. Please do not mischaracterize what I have done. Now, I won't speak for everyone else, but I have not asked my questions during an information item. We were all in the IASB-led workshop, not IASB, I apologize, it was the consultant, where we all agreed, we sat together and agreed that we, in order to help make our meetings more efficient, we would talk and ask our questions about action items and information items. We can make a statement, but we aren't going to keep asking questions of our administration. We all agreed to it. That is why we have this paper in front of us. Please do not mischaracterize what I have done. I am sorry that I cut you off, but I just won't let somebody mischaracterize me, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
Okay. And we can chat after the meeting. There's multiple instances that I can show you where that has occurred. So I'd be happy to follow up with you, and perhaps that's what needs to happen. But for right now, I just want to make sure that we are given the opportunity to discuss everything. Certainly, like I said, the treasurer's report, that's very important. So if I could just have a second here. Okay. I move that the board request clarification from the administration regarding the status of the annual amended budget process and direct that any deviation from the historical practice be presented to the board for discussion and approval, including the alternative mechanism used for budget oversight this year.
That does not follow along with our previously agreed upon path on how these meetings were going to be handled. That being said, we are going to continue with our regularly scheduled meeting. The principal reports were submitted in advance. Anna was kind enough to submit the Lincoln Way Special Education minutes. I know we're having a hard time hearing her, but I'm sure if she had anything additional to share, maybe she could send us an email later, or is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. We received multiple FOIA requests this month. There was a total of 7 of them. To my knowledge, they have either all been handled, maybe one of them is still in the process, or have they all been handled? They've all been handled? Okay, fair enough. Okay, thank you. Items for the May 20th agenda. We will have our normal May 20th items, including items that were for information tonight that we will need to follow up for next month. For the good of Mokena.
Excuse me. for the items for next month, we have the Fund 21. Fund 21 update, the capital improvement plan, and the 5-year projections that was supposed to be presented to the board in March, and then it was supposed to be presented to the board today, and now it's been being delayed, so it will be presented next month, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Shaw.
Mr. President? The motions that I made today, can we get onto the agenda next month so that the board president properly makes committee appointments? And there was a number of things that I wanted added to the agenda today that I received no response from regarding the parent-teacher advisory committee, and the insurance committee has met multiple times. Advisory committees to the board are on our board agenda. We've not established membership to that committee, those committees, and set expectations on deliverables. And when those recommendations are coming to the board, I was hoping that we would be able to do that in a timely manner, seeing as though those meetings have happened in the past month. But my motions were not recognized, and my requests to have these added to the agenda today were not recognized. So I request that both of these committees get added to our agenda next month, and that we go through the proper protocol in having those appointments by the president made, and the goals of the advisory committees established.
It has been past practice to add items to the agenda as featured upon the will of the board. If you would like to submit those in writing, and if other board members would like to have them added, we can work on that.
So I did submit those in writing, and I was not responded to multiple times, actually, and nobody responded. But a board policy says that a board member can add items to the agenda. It doesn't matter if it's one board member or not. These are two advisory committees to the board. So certainly we need opportunity to receive the feedback that these committees are, the work that they're doing. They're coming up with a recommendation that is going to be presented to the board for the board to act upon. We have not discussed the committees. We have not established whose membership is in the committees. The board president is making appointments to these committees that is not publicly known or even known to board members. So all of this should be happening in our board meetings, and it's not. And when I requested it, I'm ignored. So I respectfully ask that these get added as advisory committees to the board are on our agenda and present recommendations for our action. They're advisory committees to the board.
And the committees have the ability to report as they have information that should be reported. The committees can handle that.
Mr. Andreessen,
yes,
I would
Julie?
like to clarify that, again, I have been mischaracterized. There was no email directed to me asking me for my opinion. I was blind copied on an email that asked for the agenda items to be asked. So I did not ignore you. I was not asked by you or Mr. Andreessen to add something to the agenda. So I did not ignore the
Wait a minute,
many emails.
Right. No,
You were
our
blind
board,
copied on an email?
our
What are we
board,
talking about here?
our board policy is that any board member can request something be added. Mr. President just now introduced the concept that board members requesting things be added to the agenda, somehow it's now turned into I need to get feedback from my fellow board members.
And
I was
I'm
simply
just,
stating.
I'm just addressing that you said.
I'm still in the middle of talking. I was simply stating that board members have been notified that I did request this be added to the agenda. At the end of the day, this isn't something that I want to do. This is a procedural thing. This is add 2 advisory committees to the board that have not been established, that have no goals established by the board, that are not, the board is not receiving recommendations or information from, and you know, the board president is making appointments that is not publicly known or even known to the board members. And when I request that they get added to the agenda, I'm ignored. And now this new strategy that I have to get board member approval to have that done is just completely coming from left field. That's not what our board policy says.
Moving on. So for the good of Mokena, would anyone like to share for the good of Mokena?
I will just remind everyone that kindergarten enrollment is open. So
Yeah.
please enroll your incoming kindergartner. And I do want to say thank you to Julie for helping post some flyers around town. I caught her at the right time as we were thinking about what that could look like. And so thank you, Julie. I appreciate your help with helping to get some flyers out in different community businesses.
And we have a lot of excitement coming up next month between graduation, the color run, Springfield, Washington, D.C., Six Flags. Man, these kids are counting down, what is it, 6 Mondays left? Maybe 5 by now? No one's counting. No one's counting at all. But, you know, I understand today was the last day of the 8th grade Kinder Buddies. And it is always bittersweet when you see some of these kids that start off in kindergarten and then they're in 8th grade when you blink. And it's a wonderful program that we do that for these kids. And we got a lot to be proud of. And with that being said, I will make a motion to go to closed session. Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. President, before we vote, I want to state an objection for the record regarding the scope of items placed in the closed session under Illinois Open Meetings Act 5 ILCS 120. Specifically, I have concerns
Careful about talking about closed session
about,
items in
excuse
public.
me,
No, I don't think I
specifically,
will.
excuse me.
Mrs. McMillan, you are
Specifically, I have
completely out of
concerns
order. Completely out
about
of order.
whether district-wide health insurance plan design, administrative compensation structures, and comparative compensation data are appropriately classified under personnel or collective negotiating exceptions. Thank you.
Just a point of clarification, those items are not necessarily all being discussed at closed session. Jim, I think, is going to go through the different things that are going to be discussed.
And for the record, Bob and I had a conversation with the attorney earlier today to vet all of these items. I want everybody clear on that. We actively had the conversation to make sure everything that was going to be discussed was appropriate. That being said, the items for tonight in closed session are the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, collective negotiation matters between the public body and its employees or the representatives, or deliberations concerning salary scheduled for one or more classes of employees in student disciplinary cases. I believe Julie seconded. Thank you. Roll call vote, please. For all those in favor, say aye. Sure. Aye. Okay. That being said, it is 8:35. We will be taking a 10-minute break and reconvening in 10 minutes at 8:45. Thank you and good night.